Hi guys, welcome to week 6 of the class. This week we are going to be diving into the early 19th century, and we're going to be assessing, among other topics, two very important things, and that's going to be one, Thomas Jefferson's presidency, and there was quite a bit that occurred during his presidency, including the court case Marbury v. Madison, which was a case that allowed for the Supreme Court ultimately to establish something called judicial review, where the court can strike down a law passed by Congress. That doesn't happen often during the 19th century, but it does happen. This particular power actually is not constitutional. Nowhere in the Constitution does the Supreme Court have such a power granted to it, but they sort of give themselves this power. But this occurs under under Jefferson's administration. And to agree, a lot of it has to do with John Adams and some of his midnight appointments, where he places a bunch of good Federalists, as it was called, into the judiciary branch, recognizing, as he did, that there would be no Federalists in the executive or the legislative branches. So that's one event. Jefferson will also go to war and wage war against some of the Barbary pirates in Tripoli and Tunis and other places where shipping rights were being affected and taxes were being levied against the United States, and Jefferson had had enough of that. Okay, but the major things that we're going to be looking at in his administration are specifically the Louisiana Purchase, which occurred in 1803, where we purchased a large tract of land from Napoleon and the French for about $15 million, and we'll be talking about how that process happened and what the major ramifications were of it. But it does double the size of the country, and it will provide the impetus for what we call manifest destiny. The fact that the United States doubled its physical size allowed for settlers to begin to move west, and then west they will move, and we will begin to justify this westward expansion under the guise of manifest destiny, and we'll talk later about what that means. The other thing we're going to be looking at, of course, is Jefferson's dealings with foreign affairs, specifically his dealings with the French and the British and neutral shipping rights. And this will lead us to our next big topic for this week, and that's the War of 1812, where James Madison, under his tutelage as president, will declare war against Great Britain for a number of reasons, and I'll cover those as well. But predominantly, we went to war against Great Britain because of neutral shipping rights, where the British were impressing our ships and seizing our cargo, and the United States wasn't having any of that. There was also some other causes for the War of 1812 where the British were involved, including our desire to acquire British lands in what is now Canada. There was also a lot of discussion about the British inciting Indian rebellion within the United States, and so for these various reasons we declare war against Great Britain. Don't really win much with the war, although following the war there will be a great sense of nationalism that will follow. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at this week. Chapter 9 in your textbook for this week that you'll need to read. There's a lecture and a video on the War of 1812, and then, of course, discussion board questions. So make sure that you get all that up as is stipulated on the discussion board. The only other thing I want to stress at this point is that you do have a midterm coming up. Now, the midterm is 80 multiple choice questions. There is no time limit on the exam, although once you start it, you must complete it. And that midterm is going to be coming up in a couple weeks. The content for that midterm will be materials we've covered so far in this course, whether it's in lectures, videos, or reading. It's all up for grabs, so be sure to be preparing for that. And you'll take it on Blackboard, of course, and once you're done with it, it will automatically grade, so you'll know kind of where you were. So, but I'll try and give you more information on that as we get closer, but I just want to put that in your ear so that you know that it's coming. So anyways, I think that's all I have for you, except unless you have questions on your final paper or any other questions, please feel free to contact me. Otherwise, I wish you adieu, and I ask that you go in peace. Be warm and filled. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. And as always, may the odds forever be in your favor. All right, guys, be blessed.